France lavishly subsidizes movies shown in thriving cinemas across the country. It's at the core of what the Cannes Film Festival has symbolized for nearly a century. But now French people believe technology is threatening their cinema culture.
The way films are being shown and released is changing. A lot of films want to go out day and date all around the world now, and that's not conducive to how Cannes works. They want to present a film, be the premiere here, and then months later it'll come out in theaters around the world. And that doesn't fit to the plans of a lot of studios. So I think a lot of the big studios in the US don't really want to bring their films here because they want to bring them out around the world at the same time and not, wait for months after showing them here in Cannes.
This didn't deter Netflix, just 2 films being considered for the prestigious Palme d'Or award. But last week, organizers announced they're changing the rules, effectively banning Netflix from entering again.
We have 2 films financed by a company which doesn't want to go in theaters with the movies. It's normal that the theaters protest. But then there is a part of something of the new world, which is arriving. What can we do?
At the heart of the clash is a French law that requires a 3-year delay between a theatrical release and the movie's streaming date. Netflix disregarded this, releasing the film early online, which offended France's film industry.
Netflix at least doesn't accept that. That's not what their model is, and they're making a lot of big movies now, and they're going to be making more big movies in the future. They become a big financer of films, almost a new studio. So that's where the conflict exists, and I don't know if Cannes or if the rest of the cinema industry can force Netflix to change its model.
The new rules doesn't only apply to Netflix, but its online-first strategy is distinct from rival streaming services. CEO Reed Hastings views the new rule as an attack on his core business, but in France, it's seen as a badge of honor. Andre-Pierre du Plessis, TLT World.
So joining me now to talk about this some more are 2 of my favourite people. AP himself is joining us again, and Craig Copetas, our editor-at-large in Miami. Thank you both for joining us. So let me start by asking you both the same question.
But just before that, I just want to ask Craig, did I pronounce Cannes correctly? I know some people say Cannes and some say Con. I have a French name, but that doesn't mean I speak French.
South Africa, so you can pronounce it any way you want it.
Well,
thank you.
Okay. I have to ask you both one question now. Who, between the 2 of you, saw a movie in the last month in the cinema?
I did. I know you don't really like to go to the cinema. I don't know, Craig, have you been down to the Riviera? I know you're in Miami right now, but...
Yeah, well, we went to the movies here the other night, and American movies are the best movies in the world.
Oh, this is going to get ugly, isn't it?
Quite frankly, the show us. I mean, let's not forget here, AP, for one moment, that it was America that invented the popcorn machine. 1885, Charlie Creeders in Chicago. If it wasn't for that...
American imperialism, which is the topic you're actually touching on, that's really the core of this dispute between Netflix and the Cannes Film Festival. What did you say? I mean, it's these American companies coming to the south of France, telling them, these are our movies, we want to be featured here. And then when the French changed the details, all of a sudden they're not happy, even though they're providing all the popcorn.
Right, let me jump in here. I just want to separate you 2 out back into your corners for a second. Look, we've been here many, many times before. So many times people have said cinema is dead. It's gone. And then it just keeps coming back. People still go to the movies. Craig, I mean, you've lived through the VHS Betamax wars and all sorts of other things.
Back in 1885. No, look, here's the deal with the French thing, okay? The French is called the French persistence. The French don't see streaming as going to the movies because it bypasses a French system that earmarks a portion of the box office revenue to fund future film productions. Call it Obamacare for the film industry. This is what subsidizes the French film industry. The sadness is that not many people outside of France go to see French movies because most of them don't speak French, but in AP's case, they speak Afrikaans, and where we know there is a thriving film industry.
I wouldn't stand for that,
But
AP.
Craig, so you make a good point, and obviously that's the reason behind this. French film, we know, is very well funded because of festivals like this and because of these laws. So my question then is, should other film festivals, the Berlinale, the Istanbul Film Festival, who don't have these similar laws, should we think of implementing something similar?
I don't think so. The French model is unique because it's French, and it has a more than a soupçon of political overtones to it. In fact, newly minted President Macron, this is the kind of detail that he's going to have to deal with the French system. You know, is he going to make the French system more global? And believe it or not, this issue here is part and parcel of that, and the Ministry of Culture will be dealing with this very issue on a political level over the next 8 months.
Well, that's very interesting. I think.
Well, and there is a serious question here. I mean, Netflix's revenue model is based on this assumption that people are not going to be going to the cinema anymore. Have Netflix really misunderstood the market?
I think so, if I can jump in here, because, you know, Netflix, like Amazon, they are really just saying, look, we have a bottomless pit of money, and come to us if you want to produce your movie, we'll pay for that. But movie makers are starting to question if this is the way that Netflix want their business model to be, namely stream first and ask questions later. Is that really the best place to go to? And I bring that up because their biggest competitor, Amazon, is actually following this law. They've decided, no, we will show our films, even though it's intended for an online audience, we will show it in French theaters. The one film that Amazon is being nominated for a Palme d'Or, they've decided to stick to that. It's just Netflix who, yet again, want to be the American imperialist and the exception to the rule.
Craig, you've got to answer that one.
Yes. And as I said, we invented popcorn, so too bad.
I love popcorn, by the way.
Andre-Pierre du Plessis, Craig Copetas, thank you both so much.